So this is a weld positioner that I built, ordered it off the internet from a guy. He has a website. It's minidozerbuild.com. I'll make sure I leave a description below. My intention really to build this thing was just a bevel pipe. It is considered a weld positioner, or as I've called it in shops, we call it a rollout wheel. Basically, so you can chuck up a pipe and steadily turn a pipe for high production. Easy welds. It's you're basically welding in the, I guess, a 1G position, which is the pipe is turning, and you're basically staying right on top of the pipe. So it's the easiest weld that can be, and it'll pass X-ray every time, and it's high production. You can weld shorter pieces. Some pieces you can weld kind of long. The guy Ryan who designed it, you go to his website. The plans are $15 there. He will email you the plans. Everything in the plans is, part numbers, bolt sizes, everything you possibly need. He has everything listed. These plans are easily worth a couple $100. $15 is nothing. He will also email you with the plans. There's a board in here that you have to load a program. He has everything figured out. The number one thing that everyone wants is to add a foot pedal to this. I searched the website and found some foot pedals that I've used in shops, and Ryan ordered up a foot pedal and has got the foot pedal working perfect with the program. So that's something that you can ask him about if you want to add a foot pedal, and he'll send you a link to the website and everything you need to add the foot pedal. This positioner is fully adjustable. You pull the pin out here and you have all these different ranges here. You can turn the thing on a 45 if you need to practice for a pipe test, whatever you want to do. Like I said, I just built this thing just for bevel and pipe, but I did have an occasion about 5-6 months ago. A guy wanted me to weld aluminum rim. He's building a custom Ford F650 truck, and I didn't have this, but if I had this, I probably could have welded it in 20 minutes. While just doing it the old-fashioned way, welding a little and turning the rim, is a big rim, it took me almost about 2 and a half hours to do it. So this would have cut down. I wouldn't have to stop so much to allow my machine to cool down. I could have MIG welded. It could have been insanely fast. From here on down is pretty much Ryan's design. This top piece here, I had a friend of mine who's a machinist. He came up with all this. This was pretty damn sweet. He made it so it can be unbolted. I also wanted it to so I could basically bevel a 12-inch pipe. And how he has it set up, you undo these two bolts, and I can make a spacer, and I can raise this thing as high as I want. A guy out of Colorado is building rollout wheels to add onto the back of trucks for pipeliners and rig welders, that kind of stuff. And he's the one that said you can take an 8-inch chuck and flip the jaws around, and it'll grab a 12-inch pipe on the inside. The Shars, S-H-A-R-S. It's a Chinese chuck, but it's actually rather pretty good chuck. Only thing I recommend is when you get it is to rip this thing apart. It's full of metal. It's just these things are, the machining is great. It's great quality, but these guys in China, they're not taking any pride in cleaning it all up. So they're full of metal, and they just load them up with grease and they ship them out to us. So I recommend to go through it, degrease it, clean the metal out, re-grease it with some moly, and it's good as new. It runs absolutely perfect. So that's the only downfall. The chuck, I think, was about $159 off eBay. That was a steal. Backing plate was, I believe, $38. It was semi-finished. That same friend of mine who built all this up here, he machined the 3 holes so everything lines up. Also, there's a lip on the back side here that will allow it to fit tighter into the chuck there. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, this build. Now, I kind of changed up the plans a little bit. Ryan didn't have his box up here. He had it down low. I wanted to be able to fully adjust the potentiometer and set my speed as I'm going. I want to have my hands on it at all times. Ryan's had just legs on the bottom here. I decided to add the wheels because it is a little bit of weight to it. And not only that, I wanted to get it up higher so it's a comfortable height for me to bevel pipe on. Ryan builds a lot of this stuff. That same friend of mine that built all this, he was quite busy at the time, so I had Ryan machine me the spindle along with the threads that went into here. But another guy that I've talked to on Instagram, he actually had Ryan make the spindle, but the threads for my backing plate, I think, are 2 1/4, 8 inches. I'm sorry, 8 threads per inch. And I think he has one that's like 1 inch or 1 1/4, which was cool. Ryan, you know, he did all the machining that he needed. But I know Ryan with the same size that I went with here, so, you know, I just matched everything up to what he did in his plans. This guy, Ryan, is a mechanical engineer. He is absolutely freaking awesome. There's no such thing as a dumb question with this guy. He will answer every single question you have along, you know, as you're building this thing. I still have not had time to paint it. I built this thing for brushing up on pipe welding test. You know, being a pipe welder, we go from job to job to job. You get tired of people's stuff, the BS, and you job hop. Hate to do that. I'm getting older. I'm getting tired of job hopping. But I need to be able to brush up on different welding processes. This thing bevels just carbon pipe. But if I wanted to, I could add a plasma torch in its place, and I can basically bevel any alloy that I want. The cutting apparatus here, this is a Victor short barrel. This thing's about $550 brand new. I got lucky a few years ago and picked it up for $160. It's just fully adjustable. It's pretty sweet. This piece here, I can unscrew it and it'll flip it all around, whatever I want. The track here, I got it from McMaster Car, along with the gear inside here came from McMaster Car. The Dell ring came from McMaster Car, and that's another thing. In Ryan's plans, he lists all the part numbers for McMaster Car. McMaster Car wants you to buy in bulk. I chose to buy all my bolts from Bolt Depot or locally, but some of them are sizes that locally doesn't have. They'll go in by 1/2 inch or 1 inch increments, while on McMaster Car or BoltDepot.com, you can buy the exact size bolt you need. So a lot of bolts had to come from online. I want to say I probably have about $650 roughly in this. A friend of mine did not charge me to machine all this part here. I actually helped him with putting a roof on his shop until I got sick with the flu. Couldn't help him finish it, but in trade, you know, he did this for me, and I helped him with the roof on his shop. I really don't know what a machinist would charge. This is quite a bit of machining in here, to be honest. And all these pieces, this is quite a bit of machining. So I really don't know what someone would charge. Go and kick it on for you. Added an LCD screen. This was really part of Ryan's in his plans. The reason I wanted to do this was if I wanted to be able to repeat a cut or repeat a weld. You know, if I have the right speed and everything set, I can just crank out a bunch of parts. So the way this works is this is one way. That's the fastest it'll turn, and you'll never really weld that fast. I don't even cut that fast. I think I cut it at 1/2 RPM, which is roughly there. Not even, no, I'm sorry. That's about a 1/2 RPM roughly. Pretty damn slow. So you can go back to here, there's a stop button. And you need to go back the other way. You need to go back the other way. This thing is insane. It bevels the shit out of pipe. I mean, it is no slouch. It is extremely fast. It's kind of noisy, but that's just the way the whole programming is. I think if you buy one of these, they're about $2,500 or more. This thing bevels way better than anything I've ever beveled with. I'm using propane. Is my fuel, not acetylene. Acetylene is more dangerous. It's a hell of a lot more money, but propane, hell, I ran out of propane today. I went to freaking Walgreens and bought it. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, with propane, a friend of mine told me, he says it cuts really well. I didn't really believe him until I tried it, and I was like, holy shit, this thing cuts better than acetylene. I'll never go with acetylene. It's just safer to run propane, and you can buy it anywhere. Definitely check out Ryan at minidozerbuild.com. About once a week, I'm beveling the hell out of pipe, and I'll show you all the pipe I've beveled. 6-inch Schedule 80, which I don't know if some of this stuff is still hot, which you can see that's in its raw form. It's freaking perfect. After you clean it up, having that thing turn it, that's what it looks like. Absolutely clean, perfect bevels. Anything you want. This is basically what you call, I guess, a super coupon. I don't know if that's a 180 wall or what. 2-inch or 2.5 inch. really been a lifesaver. You get the practice right here at home. I don't have to go pay $500, $600, $800, whatever the hell it is, at a Votech school, because to be truly honest, these Votech schools around here absolutely suck. There's not very many of them in the country that are worth a shit. People are dishing out so much money to go to these schools, and they're useless. I was just kind of lucky that the school that I went to was pretty good. The guy could have probably taught me more, but yeah, these schools today are ridiculous. So if you want to learn how to weld pipe, get with Ryan, get you one of these, build one, get the plans and all, and build your own and go buy a welding machine. It'll save you a whole lot more money than going to these welding schools. YouTube, gosh, man, there's so many awesome people on YouTube showing you how to weld pipe. You know, it's just ridiculous to go to a freaking school. You'll save a whole lot more money, and you'll exceed a whole lot faster off of YouTube. Build this and get you a welding machine. I'll talk later on about what kind of good welding machine would be good to buy, so you don't go waste a whole bunch of money. So yeah, if you could please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll try and get some more videos up of some other stuff. Got quite a few more builds I wanted to get into doing, but just kind of busy right now. So thank you.